Hi, I wanted to demonstrate the aquaponics system that I just got moved outside. The previous video shows it in the basement, and this is the same setup, just outdoors with investments. So let's start out with the power source. Instead of using wall current like I was using in the basement, I'm using a solar charged battery. So the solar panel goes to a charge controller. This is just this was like $8 on Amazon. It's a 12-volt charge controller, and I think you can see that the battery is two lights out of 3 lit, so that means it's 3/4 charged. And there are 2 batteries here. They're both 12 volts. They're from an electric lawnmower. They got swapped out in favor of a newer battery. The switch here is just wired in so that I can disconnect the solar panel if I'm putting it in storage for a long time, so that it doesn't drain the battery, because the solar panel will actually drain the battery in that situation. And I've got some other stuff in here, like a power strip, where I can hook up this power strip in order to run alternating current devices. But right now what is wired into it is a switch. This is as you can see, this is an extension cord that I've adapted to run on direct current. So I cut the extension cord in half, and one half of it goes to the battery, the other half goes to the pump, and that allows me to wire the float switch in the middle to switch the power on and off. So if I plug this in right now, the pump activates. Since the pump is down at the bottom of the pond at the moment, I'll just show you. This is the same pump. It is made in China. It's metric, which means that our hoses, the hoses that are available, don't fit it, because all the hoses you can buy in the US are non-metric. So what I've had to do is a fair amount of cobbling together to get a standard hose to fit it. In order to filter it, since it didn't come with a filter, I've got a flower pot attached. I made a hole in the flower pot, stuck that on there, and then put some filter wire over the entire thing. So the entire pump and everything is wrapped in this netting to keep debris out. So that is what is in the bottom half of that cinder block down there. And you can see the hose comes out, and I've got a splitter on there so that I can direct part of the water to go directly back into the shallow part of the pond. When the battery is fully charged, that's desirable to keep the water from flowing too fast. You can send part of the water into the pond instead of into the grow beds. This is the float switch. It's the same float switch I was using in the aquariums. I've just got it on a wire so that I can adjust the height. And right now I've got it at the very most sensitive setting, so that it'll pump for about 1 inch, 2 inches, and then shut itself off and wait for the water to come back in. And that just keeps the battery from draining itself all the way down. Because the pump does use enough power, it will drain the battery. This shade cloth is on here because the plants were growing indoors, and some of them are not well suited to direct sunlight. So I've got some aloe, I've got some philodendrons. They don't like direct sunlight, so the shade cloth helps them out. But I also have water lettuce now. There's some water hyacinths in the deeper part of the pond. And what happens here is when the pump is running, it pumps into the top grow bed. Then here's the bell siphon that drains the water from the top grow bed. So the water level rises until the siphon triggers, and then the siphon drains the top bed into the bottom bed. Here, the pump just switched on again, so here's the water filling up. So we fill the top bed, it drains into the bottom bed, and that then drains into the very bottom here. And I can control the speed of the drain to control the depth of the water in the second grow bed. So Again, the theory here is that the goldfish, which are in the pond and are a little hard to see, the goldfish produce waste. Well, they eat debris that falls into the pond, first of all, and algae that grows in the pond. They produce waste, which then gets turned into plant food by bacteria living in the rocks in the grow beds. And then the plants eat or consume the nitrogen and other nutrients in the fish waste. And that's the whole system. Thanks for watching.